Welcome, curious minds, to another deep dive. Today, we're plunging into a world where the line between hunter and hunted gets really blurry. We're diving into Fiona Jayde's Night Haven. It's this raw, intense urban fantasy packed with unexpected twists, ancient myths, and some seriously compelling characters.
And our mission, like always, is to dig into this story and pull out the key insights. We'll be looking at this really complex dynamic between a powerful blood wolf and a brooding vampire. We'll explore their internal struggles, the bond they form, and what it all means. It's a story about love, duty, self-discovery, all in this supernatural setting. Really makes you think.
So get ready to explore a tale where desire cuts both ways and, well, falling for your enemy might just be the most dangerous and maybe transformative thing you can do. Let's unpack this. Okay, so right from the start, we're dropped straight into Dina's world. She's a blood wolf, right? And she's on a mission to dust a vampire. But the story tells us immediately, this isn't just any job, it's personal. Very personal.
Yeah, what grabs you instantly is how it flips your expectations.
Yeah.
Dina's first thoughts. They reveal this incredibly intense, complicated past with her target, Luke. Like months ago, they shared this really passionate kiss, which is a huge deal, given her species is supposed to hunt vampires. She even admits she was damned embarrassed she hadn't realized exactly what he was back then.
Right, so it's not just a hunt, it's this massive internal conflict for her, right from page 1.
Exactly.
And Dina herself, quite the introduction. She's described as a freakishly tall woman dressed in black, more muscular than curvy, got straight brown hair tucked behind tapered ears, and she's even wearing a "fuck you" glitter shirt. That says a lot about her attitude.
Oh, absolutely. She's tough, direct, but you can tell she's wrestling with that memory, that kiss.
And then there's Luke.
Luke. The description is classic but effective. Tall, dark, and undead, brooding and handsome. Got the square hero's jaw, wavy brown hair, those dark, smoldering green eyes. And Dina remembers he kissed like a wet dream.
That just adds such a personal, almost visceral layer to her mission, doesn't it? He's not just some monster. He's him, the guy she kissed.
Precisely. It complicates everything.
So she finally finds him in a bar. He's ignoring some Barty type, apparently, but his eyes, they lock right onto Dina's, like he was expecting her.
Yeah, that connection is immediate.
She follows him into an alley, ready to fight, ready for the confrontation. She tries to use her blood wolf powers, shift into wolf form, but
She can't.
yeah,
Right? That's the critical moment. Her main weapon, her advantage, gone.
exactly. She's completely vulnerable. And this is where it gets really interesting.
He really is. Because Luke senses it. He knows she can't shift. He sees her vulnerability. But instead of attacking, instead of taking advantage, he just tells her to get out.
Wow, okay. That's not what you expect from the vampire target.
Not at all. It completely subverts the trope. He has her cornered, powerless, and he lets her go.
So what does that tell us? I mean, she's supposed to be the hunter. She's vulnerable. He has the upper hand. Why hold back?
Well, that's the hook, isn't it? It immediately makes you question everything you assume about vampires, or at least about this vampire. It hints at a deeper morality for Luke, something more complex than just being a monster. It signals there's way more going on beneath the surface.
Okay, so we need to understand Luke better. Let's dive into his world because we get this really interesting glimpse into his life, and it's definitely not the typical vampire gig.
Right. If we zoom out a little, Luke isn't just a vampire. He's an artist. And internally, he's struggling. A lot. The book says he grapples with a death wish, ends every night wondering how far he could stand up to dawn. He feels bitter and young and cold.
Sounds pretty bleak. Longing for death like his human friend Walt's wife Alice found.
Exactly. And he hates feeding, finds it a dirty means to appease hunger. This is a vampire who fundamentally dislikes being a vampire.
That's fascinating. And his art. It's his coping mechanism.
Seems like it. He sketches Dina's face from memory, focusing on her strong features, the fragile curve of her jaw, her soft and carnal mouth. It's clearly an outlet for these intense emotions, maybe a way to process his connection to her, and it actually helps stave off his hunger, which is interesting.
And his human friend Walt helps him sell his art. That's a pretty unusual setup.
Very. It speaks volumes about Luke's connections, or lack thereof, within his own kind. And his past gives us clues, too. Apparently, he was a willing toy for a greedy female vampire years ago, an experience that left him shattered.
Okay, so that explains some of the aversion to the typical vampire life, the feeding.
It definitely contributes. Meanwhile, Dina's still stuck, can't shift, terrified him.
Yeah.
Manikel will find out. She can't stop thinking about Luke's scent. They're both kind of trapped.
Right, Manikel. He's the alpha. And he has this, as Dina calls it, stupid rule. about not just killing any vampire. You need proof they're actually bad news.
But then we find out why. It's personal for Manikel. A vampire once saved his mate, Valuel.
Whoa. Okay, that changes things. So there's history there. Actual cooperation between the species, not just hate.
Exactly. It complicates a whole Bloodwolf versus vampire narrative. Manikel even tells Dina something profound. He says, we're the same damn thing with wolf mixed in. And that's their term for bloodwolves. Feed off our mates, crave their taste the same as a vampire.
Wow. So suggesting their core instincts, their bonds, they're not so different after all.
Precisely. It challenges the foundation of their conflict. Shared natures, shared desires, hidden under layers of animosity.
So definitely not just good guys versus bad guys here. Lots of gray area, shared biology almost, and these complex rules between them.
Which really makes you ask, what actually defines a monster or a hero in this world? When both sides have similar drives and, cultural baggage, we have to look beyond the easy labels.
Yeah, you really do. And just as we're starting to see that complexity, the story takes another sharp turn. Dina, still powerless, ends up in serious danger in Alameda Park. It forces Luke to make a really difficult choice.
It's a fantastic scene because it puts Luke's unique morality right into action. He's starving, the text makes that clear, but his disgust for feeding on an unwilling human, that's even stronger. He's described as a vampire who hated feeding. We see him watch another vampire attacking someone, but he waits to see if he would struggle before stepping in.
That's such a specific code. He only helps if they fight back, if they want to be saved.
Seems to be. It's a strange kind of honor, maybe. But then Dina arrives.
Right, and she just barrels in, trying to help even though she knows she's weak. She's described as sluggish. Her body refuses to listen, still can't shift.
It's terrifying. She's completely vulnerable to this feeding vampire.
And Luke.
He doesn't hesitate this time. He acts purely on instinct. Rip the vampire off her, kills it, saves her life.
And he knows she's vulnerable. He asks her straight up, doesn't he?
Yeah, quietly asks, you can't shift, can you?
Oh, Wazer.
Then warns her, you walk around bleeding, every vamp in the city will want you. It's immediate concern, protective.
And he doesn't just warn her. He acts, takes off his leather jacket for her.
Offers it to her to dim her scent. And then he cuts his own palm to mask the smell of her blood from other predators.
That's, wow, a huge act of protection. And self-control, considering his own hunger. It goes way beyond just saving her from that one vampire.
Absolutely. It's a massive gesture of trust, of care, that cuts right through their species' history.
And they actually talk then properly.
They do finally exchange names. Luke, Dina. He tells her a bit about being a vampire, that there's no turning. The thirst just grows. You fight it until you give up. It reveals so much about his own struggle.
And then he invites her back to his place, this huge Victorian house.
Yeah, mentioning his human friend Walter lives in the main house.
Yeah.
Just another layer of how unconventional Luke's life is.
Okay, so this is a huge turning point. This tentative alliance, this trust building. Where does it go? What does it mean for them?
It feels like a foundational moment. It suggests that maybe mutual vulnerability, not just strength, can bridge these huge divides. Luke, the conflicted vampire, becomes the protector. Dina, the hunter, accepts help from her prey. It really rewrites the rules for them.
And that tension, which has been there since the first page, really, it finally ignites at Lou's place, right? Leading to this physical encounter that changes absolutely everything.
Oh, absolutely. And what's fascinating is how quickly it moves beyond just, physical attraction. It becomes something deeply significant in their world, loaded with myth and meaning. Their first real intimate moment is described as incredibly raw, almost brutal. His mouth harsh and brutal, savaging her, soothing the burn while inflaming it. It's an explosion of everything they've been holding back.
And then that mark. In the middle of it all, Dina bites him. First his lip, tasting his blood. Then, in a flash of greed, she bites his neck where it meets the shoulder, creating a lick mating mark, a bloodwolf mark, on a vampire, instinctively marking him as hers.
Which has massive, immediate consequences. Luke's reaction. Pure shock. Disgust, even. He recoils, terrified. Because of the myth, right? That lick blood will make him mortal. He yells, "I won't take blood from you." He backs away, as if she were a monster.
It's this deeply ingrained fear, this cultural belief clashing with what just happened.
Exactly. And Dina, she gets it. The weight of what she did. A lick marking a vampire as mate. She's overwhelmed by shame, despair, tears up that drawing Luke made of her, and runs.
Then she gets home, and Manikel confronts her about the male scent. But she has this moment of clarity, doesn't she?
She does. A real self-reflection. realizes her true passion isn't just the hunt. It's saving humans whether they understand or not. Finds a sort of peace with Manikel's role as Alpha, maybe accepting her own place better.
And Manikel actually confirms the lore. The wolf meeting thing.
Yeah, surprisingly, he does. Confirms that taking blood, giving blood, it makes them complete. It validates the power, the ancient reality behind Dina's instinctive act, even while Luke is terrified by the myths surrounding it.
So it's not just a bite, it's this ancient sacred bond crossing species lines, with terrifying implications based on conflicting histories and beliefs.
Which really brings up that question again. Cultural myths versus personal experience. Luke's trapped by the fear of this myth becoming mortal. But Dina acted on this ancient lick truth. It hints that the reality of their bond might be stronger than the stories they've been told.
Okay, so the stakes are incredibly high now. Which brings us to the climax. Dina, still without her wolf form, gets ambushed at home by Rogel, this other menacing lick.
Yeah, this is where everything converges. Dina's at her most vulnerable, still can't shift. Rogel is pure bloodlust, trying to forcibly mate her, and Luke's protectiveness is about to be tested like never before.
Rogel breaks her window, attacks her. She's defenseless. It looks completely hopeless.
But then Luke arrives, just in the nick of time. He fights Rogel, trying to protect Dina, and he gets bitten.
Yeah.
Badly, his blood spills.
And seeing Luke's blood, that's the trigger.
That's the catalyst. Something primal just snaps inside Dina. The text says, the throb of ancient magic slid through her bones. Scent became vision and instinct became thought. And she finally shifts, back into her wolf form, fueled by rage by her connection to Luke.
An incredible moment. She reclaims her power when he's in danger.
Totally. And she defeats Rogel, forces him to flee, but notably lets him live, showing a new kind of control, maybe, not just mindless rage.
Then as a wolf, she tends to Lick's wound, licks the bite mark.
And it heals, fast, like her own kind heal. Another physical manifestation of their connection, the power flowing between them.
And Luke, he confesses then, doesn't he, about why he reacted so badly to the mark earlier.
He does. It's a powerful moment. He admits he didn't want her to become like all the others, humans who just willingly offered their necks. He didn't want that kind of connection with her.
And he debunks the myth, the mortality thing.
He clarifies it's just that a myth. Lick blood won't make him mortal. But then he does something extraordinary, still struggling with his hunger for her, the real thirst he feels now. He offers her his own knife, extends his palm, asks her to finish it now, before it's too late, giving her the ultimate power, the ultimate trust.
Wow. Offering her his life, basically.
But Dina refuses. She looks at him and says, it is too late, meaning it's already happened, the bond is there. And she declares that she does want him.
And then?
Their second mating. Deeper this time. Fierce passion, but now with full acceptance, she bites him again, fully claiming the best. Mine. The word beat at her mind. Mine. And this time, Luke drinks from her, completing the ritual Manikel described.
Fully embracing the lick mating tradition together.
It's the ultimate defiance of both their species' expectations and fears.
And then, just when you think it can't get more intense, there's another reveal.
Yeah, Luke mentions that Manikel, Dina's brother, once saved his life.
No.
Dina just laughs and says, man's my little brother. It just weaves their fates, their families, even closer together. This connection was maybe destined in ways they never knew.
Incredible. And Luke realizes something about the mark, too.
He realizes it works both ways. His mark on her mark on him, meaning no one bites you but me. It's mutual possession, mutual protection.
And the ending. The sunrise.
Ah, yes. As dawn breaks, Luke looks directly at the rising sun, the thing that should destroy him. And he says, it doesn't burn as bad.
So the bond, it literally changed his vampiric nature, made him more resilient.
It seems so. A profound, tangible effect. He's not just finding a reason to live. He's finding a way to live that transcends his curse, maybe even begins to heal it.
Wow, what an incredible arc for both of them. From hunter and hunted, tangled in myths and fear, to protectors, finding truth and transformation in their connection.
Exactly. If you look at the bigger picture, it's not just a forbidden romance. It's really about empowerment, breaking cycles of fear, of misunderstanding, finding strength in vulnerability. Dina gets her power back through connection. Luke finds a reason to live, maybe even peace, through connection. It shows how powerful that can be, defying old hatreds, old rules.
So thinking about all this, what does it mean for you, listening? This deep dive into Night Haven really shows how connections can challenge everything we think we know. Even in these wild supernatural worlds, sometimes the answers are in embracing the totally unexpected.
Yeah, it really pushes you to question assumptions. things ingrained in culture, in belief. It suggests that genuine connection, acceptance can break down walls we thought were permanent, can literally transform someone's being. Maybe the most powerful magic isn't spells or ancient curses, but just that bond between two souls no matter where they come from, or what stories try to keep them apart.
That's a really powerful thought to end on. So here's something to mull over. If a vampire's deepest nature can be redefined by connection, and a bloodwolf's power restored by it, what impossible transformations might be waiting in our own lives? What happens when we connect across differences, face our fears? What myths, personal or cultural, might we be holding on to that are maybe obscuring a deeper truth about ourselves or others?
Definitely something to think about.
That's all for this deep dive. You can find Night Haven by Fiona Jayde, and she has other great titles like Pot au Deux, or if you like this vibe, check out similar stuff like Force of Attraction by Mandy M. Roth, or maybe Blood, Smoke, and Mirrors by Robin Bachar.
Until next time, keep diving deep, keep asking questions, and keep connecting those dots.
We'll see you on the next deep dive.